Good Sunday morning, friends. We told you we'd try to do a newsletter pop-up, and here it is. Thanks so much for coming to this impromptu gathering of the Digital Village for a Sunday morning. We are streaming live in all the places, and we're here to talk about the newsletter. So I do a weekly newsletter. It comes into your inbox on Wednesdays. If you don't already subscribe, please do. There is a link in the description. We do a different topic each week. The topic this week is everything is an oracle. And the idea is that spirit can speak to us in all different kinds of ways. Like we all have signs and symbols that are maybe our unique way of feeling support from the universe. And then we have ones that we sort of talk about broadly, angel numbers, feathers, whatever. But then there's an issue that comes in, which is that if everything is an oracle and we are all receiving messages, what vets the messages that we're receiving? And one of the things I talked about in the newsletter is a message without interpretation is not a message. And so we have to have the ability to hear it and interpret it and apply it to our lives. So that's what I talked about in the newsletter. Today, I am very open to any conversation you have at all about your own experience hearing spirit, your favorite oracle tools. Yeah, exactly, Trey, exactly. We've all known people where it can go a bit overboard, where every little thing is a sign. Yes, 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 yes. That is so, so very true. That is amazingly true, actually. And it's an interesting thing, right? It's an interesting thing. Leisha, thank you for the like. Appreciate that. And Barbie said, yeah, especially in the digital age. Very, very true. Very, very true. Yeah, Barbie Bird, it is almost a form of spiritual bypassing at times. 100%. Yes, it is. And if you're out there as a reader for people, but it's funny, Barbie, because you have like the typo said elitism, and weirdly it shows up that way too. So that was a prophetic kind of a typo. And I see a lot of people joining over on Instagram. Great to see you. I'm willing to take questions today on pretty much anything at all. Since the topic is everything is an oracle, I got an oracle right here. Let me get over to CardCam. I got an oracle right here. I am using, this is the OG Llewellyn Edition Gaian Tarot. True confession, I love this deck. I'm not hugely comfortable reading with it, so we'll see how it goes. But I thought it would be fun, and since everything is an oracle, here's mine today. All right, so I am willing to answer questions on just about anything since we're talking about oracles. And there's an interesting thing, too, just about the word oracle. Did you know that the word oracle means the tool you use, the person who uses it, the message that is delivered, and the place where all of it happens? The word oracle covers all of that, which is kind of funny. In the tarot world, we've started calling non-system decks of divination. So it's not tarot, it's not Kipper, it's not Lenormand. We're calling those oracle decks to differentiate themselves, to differentiate them from tarot, Kipper, Lenormand. But everything is an oracle. Really, right? There it is. Okay. Trey, do I consider this to be more of an oracle deck? I I consider it to be so hairy-fairy. I mean, it's a legit tarot. It really is. But it is so hairy-fairy in the way that it presents itself that sometimes I have a hard time. Like, I like to give, very accurate, mundane readings. And this is like just very spiritual. Not bad, obviously. Okay, so I'm a bit salty. What's going on is we're talking about oracles and I am doing readings. So if you have a question, just let me know. Okay, here we go. I am going to start over on YouTube with Trey Cameron. Trey, thanks for being a member for more than 2 years. Really appreciate you. What can I know about my abilities and how I best discern messages? I astral travel quite easily and even met her there and she told me something. Was it true? And if it really was her, is she open to me communicating with her through astral travel again? Okay, so first of all, your experience of what you're doing is completely legit, Trey. What you can know is this is not you spiritual bypassing. This is not you in some state of spiritual psychosis. I think this is the real deal. I think that you have a real ability for this very kind of spirit communication, first of all. And I also appreciate you're the sort of person that will ask that sort of a question, right? It's the people who don't question it that you really have to wonder about. Now, in terms of the particular entity that we're discussing, she'll meet you wherever you can get to. She's really interested, she's funny. She's interested in sort of seeing what you can do and what you will do. So she'll meet you wherever you go. Let me know what you think about that. Okay. Over on Twitch, V365, so good to see you. May I know what's coming my way this month? I think you have to be careful not to be up in your head too much. I think sometimes when it comes to dealing with other people, whether it's friends, family, or coworkers, you can see conflict where there's really not conflict, and that can take you to a dark place in your head. So this month, I would say pay attention to mental health, pay attention to your creativity, pay attention to leadership. Who are the wise leaders and the wise guides that you go to, and how are you a wise leader for others? Those are things you want to think about this month. Okay, here we go. Smile Soul 20. Good to see you. Thanks for being a member for more than 3 years, and thanks for being a moderator. My question is, what does Spirit want me to know? Always a good question. All right. Smile Soul 20. Spirit wants you to know that the more you step outside of your comfort zone, the happier you're going to be. And I see you doing it, and I think it's already working. Trey, you are very welcome. I'm glad that resonated for you. Teresa, thanks for being here. Thanks for being a member for more than 3 years. Thanks for being a moderator, and thanks for using members-only emojis. I'd like to ask how my interview may go on Tuesday and if I might see an offer. Still have another potential pending also. So looking specifically at the interview on Tuesday, I think you're going to do very well in that interview. I really do. I think, I don't know if this leads to an offer, but something will eventually. So just keep doing what you're doing. And honestly, just take the interviews, do the interviews, and don't worry too much about where they might lead, because the right one will lead exactly where it needs to. That is also, by the way, my generic dating advice for anyone who's single. When you're dating, don't worry about where that date is going to lead to. Just see if there's going to be another date, right? All right. Up next, we have Barbie Bird. Good to see you. Thanks for being a member for more than 2 years. I appreciate you. Loved the newsletter. I know you have mentioned I don't have particular signs or symbols from my guides or those who have passed, as they are always communicating with me. What do they want me to know? And is there anything they're trying to tell me that I'm not picking up on? Let's see. You know, you are getting stronger and stronger in every single way, Barbie Bird. Mentally, emotionally, spiritually, like in every way. And as that happens, what I see you doing is I see you creating the signs. I see you sort of creating the oracles, activating them, if you will, saying to the universe or saying to particular loved ones in spirit, okay, I need a specific message. So this week, show me a green feather, or show me a black rose, or, you know, something a little unusual. And you'll see how those signs start to develop. It feels like your guides and guardians are now wanting you to have those signs and create those signs. That seems to be what's showing up here. So that's kind of interesting. All right. Who is up next? We have got Divine Timing. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. I love this topic. I grew up very religious, that I would go to hell if I dabbled into witchcraft tarot cards. Over the past few years, my perspective is changing. Clearly, since you're here, and I'm so glad that you are. And then my question is, what am I not seeing in my spiritual journey? Okay, here we go. Okay, Divine Timing. I think, you know, here's the problem. And no shade at all. But because you were raised not just in a religious household, but a religious household without a lot of critical thinking or nuanced thinking, I'm going to guess fundamentalism was part of it. And the problem with fundamentalism, and it doesn't matter if it's Christian, Islamic, tarot, it doesn't matter. Fundamentalism is always bad. I'm sorry, but there's no way that it's ever good. And because you were raised with that, there is still part of that in your thinking, not necessarily specific to a particular Bible verse. But when we talk about figuring out what is true and what is not true, the recognition that there are not that many absolute truths, when you were raised to believe only in absolute truth, I think is a hard one. And I think you're still very much unlearning that. And so when it comes to your own practices, to recognize that questions may be more important than answers. If that makes sense. Okay, and Mr. Savagistic, I love your name. Thanks for the follow. I'm doing questions wherever you may be watching. Instagram, TikTok, Twitch, wherever you might be. Of course, YouTube, Facebook. I'm taking questions. Go right ahead. Inner Knowing Tarot, so good to see you. How can I become more confident as a tarot reader? Great question. I love that. Inner Knowing Tarot. Okay, so some of it is just about study and practice. More study, more practice, more study, more practice. And the practice is really significant, especially if you're reading for yourself and keeping track of it, or reading for others and they're feeding back, so you can see how accurate your reading is over time and what the cards are really saying versus what you thought they were saying. That's how you figure out how the cards really speak to you. It's a personal thing. The cards speak to each of us in a more unique way to each of us. So I think there is a lot there just around giving yourself, like, I don't think confidence is what you should be going for right now. I think practice and experience is what you should be going for, and that will lead to the confidence. Does that make sense? Angel Whisperer, so good to see you. Thanks for being here. Wherever you are joining us, let me know if you have a question. Liz Harrison, you are up next. Inner Knowing Tarot. Yes, thank you so much. Cool. And I've got like so many classes recorded here and of course live streaming. Please check them out. Maybe there's something there that will help you. Liz Harrison, thanks for being a member for more than a year. My question is in regards to my husband, Jeff, who has had a rough past few years in both career and personal. Will both subjects ever shift for Jeff into positive and start to look up? So with his personal life, I think a lot of that is family of origin stuff. And as you well know, the only way that shifts is when you shift internally. So, just as you have had to, I think he has to as well, a similar process. When it comes to the professional stuff, I think there is so much opportunity here for positive change, but again, it comes from within. So in both cases, like, I am really going to say, as much as yes, there has been some bad luck here and there has been some misfortune, and that's no one's fault. At the same time, I feel like Jeff is in a situation where if he can muster a sense of positive vision for his own future and sort of marshal his brain to take him there, he'll go there for sure. All right. Angel Whisperer over on Twitch. So good to see you. Thanks for being here. What's happening in love next? If there is, in fact, a current relationship that you're in right this minute, or a situationship of some sort, I am going to say, like, when I look at you right now, from my perspective, I don't see anything that looks like long-term. Maybe fun, maybe playful, but not long-term. So it depends on, what you want to deal with that. When we look at your life in general, I think you really are wanting to find that long-term person. I think you're looking for the right relationship, and I'm thinking you're worried you're not going to find it, right? Right, so single, and the only thing I see around you is like, the possibility for a hookup here or there or whatever. So I think right now what you're going to find is just casual, but what you're looking for is the real deal. And what I'm going to say is this: even as you're looking for the real deal, keep it casual until you are sure you have found the person who's ready to commit to you and you're ready to commit to. Otherwise, you're going to end up committed to someone who's really not committed to you, and you don't want that. Okay. And Mr. Savagistic over on Twitch, I've been trying to heal a bond with someone very important to me. So I'd like some advice regarding that, of course, you. Of course. Trying to heal a bond with someone very important to me. The problem is, this person who is important to you, where you want the healing to be, I'm not sure this person is necessarily open to that. And so, like, you can't make a person be open to something that they're not open to. I think the thing that would give you your very best chance is lots of time and lots of patience and lots of space. I think if you're too aggressive in this, it's going to have the opposite effect. So you have to be patient, predictable, and kind of laid back, because I think this person does not trust you, and it's going to be hard to earn their trust. That's what I think. Oh, Liz, interesting feedback. I'm optimistic for him, but realize I cannot do anything. It has to come from himself. Yeah, that's really the thing. That's the deal. That's what we're looking at here. And Benita, hang on one second. Let me go back. Benita Bala, what is Sean discussing with his friends regarding his feelings for me? He's a family friend. I think he probably has mentioned that he has some interest there, but he's probably keeping it fairly quiet. Fairly quiet. Jenna Perkins over on YouTube. How do I tune in more with my intuition when it comes to reading tarot? What a great question. And I mean, there's lots of ways intuition works in tarot. Let's see how you can tune into it best for you. And I think a lot of it, this is the Page of Cups. A lot of it is just paying attention to what comes into your head. Is it a memory, a picture? It may have nothing to do with the cards on the table. Allow spirit to speak with you while you are in that sacred container of tarot reading. If it's a memory, a song, whatever pops into your head, it's pertinent. See how that changes things for you. And just hopping on back over to Twitch for a minute with Mr. Savagistic. Agreed. I see that I have seen her mask her emotions up. She's Aries, very stubborn, and doesn't like to feel like a burden. I don't think that feeling like a burden is necessarily the issue in this particular case, but yes, I agree. I agree. Yeah, Benita, I agree. That's what I think too. Okay, Caroline McLaughlin, so good to see you. Thanks for being a member for more than 2 years. Thanks for using members only emojis. So good to see you. A message from your guides, most certainly. So Caroline, what I see here is it's been a lot for a while. Like it's just a lot. It's a lot. It's been a lot. It feels like a lot. And your guides are asking you a question, Caroline, which is, what can you do right now in this moment that will make you happy? You need happiness. You need joy. You need to give yourself permission for that. What can you do to make that happen? That's the important thing right now. Vaishali, good to see you. Thanks for being here. So we're just going to do, I think a general question for you, Vaishali, here is just around how you can use spirit to help you moving forward. And the answer is to recognize how much support you have from your ancestors in spirit. There is a lot of support there for you. And just to recognize that and know it's there, I think could be very helpful for you. Okay. All right. So I am scrolling through looking to see if there's anyone I have missed, because it is last call for readings, y'all. If I accidentally missed you, it was never my intention. Reiterate your question. If you're here and have not asked a question, now's the time. If you happen to be local, of course, we are doing our local tarot meetup, Cards and Conversation, this afternoon, 4 p.m., Panera Bread in Palm City. I do have availability for readings today and in the coming week. Feel free to reach out and book your session. Do that yet. This is what I wanted to do. If you have not yet subscribed to the newsletter, please do. There's a link to do that. Caroline, I want to thank you so much for the super sticker. That is really kind. Thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate that. My friends, I'll be back tomorrow, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time, with your 3-card weekly reading. Please enjoy the rest of the weekend, and please reach out. Take good care.